Welcome into the last day of 2018 World Lacrosse Championship Games here at Wingate Institute. I'm Josh Hawkins, your show host for the Lax All-Stars coverage, and special guest here today right now after the first couple of games in the afternoon, Ryan Wallace. Ryan Wallace, very interesting man. We got a definition down there for you: player, coach, official. You're kind of everything, but you have an awesome story on, being able to travel through the sport of lacrosse, and usually that's being a player or being a coach, but you're able to travel by being a ref, and you've been all over the world. Talk about how you got into that, and you were able to use your refereeing expertise to be able to travel around the world.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here at the World Championships. This is my third time. I wasn't able to be here in 2010 when it was in Manchester. I just kind of stumbled into it. I started reffing when I was a college club player because we didn't really have a team yet. We were still building our team, so I went back to ref, and then I just kept doing it, and I got it's great money. It's a great job, especially for a high school or a college kid, and it takes me so many places now that I'm willing to go and basically get yelled at for a living. I think last summer, now that I live and coach in Germany, I ref tournaments all over Europe. So last summer, leading up to the World Championships here this summer, I was able to go to 15 countries. I did 9 tournaments.
That's amazing.
I got to work with 7 of the national teams that are here. And I think I traveled almost a total of 30,000 kilometers. So what is that, like 24,000 miles?
Sure.
Yeah. But it's fun because, everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants help. Everybody wants to learn.
And you need refs.
Absolutely. Nobody gets better. No, the level of play does not go up unless you have qualified and well-trained officials.
Yeah, there's U.S. Lacrosse has a huge, kind of campaign for officials in the U.S. and more people becoming officials and youth, high school, professional, and continuing to build the amount of refs. But to do that internationally is pretty awesome. What are some of the places you've been? Some of the type of tournaments that you've reffed at?
So the scene in Europe is very much everybody's an amateur. The level is not terribly high, although you will have national team players at every tournament. So some of the guys that play for Poland, Austria, Germany,
Wales. We just had Wales right here on Field 1.
Yeah, they all play all the time, every chance they get, because that's their chance to get better.
Yeah. And
so you will see them every weekend. They jump in the car. So you go and you crash on somebody's couch, or very rarely do I get paid. As a lot of times I'll stay with someone, or occasionally they'll give me a hotel room. Like there's a couple tournaments where I get like a decent hotel room. But you're friends with everyone, so you get to meet every single person on every single team. You get to see all the games, and it's the best way to get around in this big family. And like you were talking about the U.S. Lacrosse Officials Development Program, especially junior officials.
Right.
There's a lot of times where you'll take high school kids and you'll train them to be youth referees. That high school kid gets a better job than he probably would, washing cars or flipping burgers. It's better money, and he's getting paid to manage his relationships with coaches. So he's working with adults.
Right.
He's managing his own schedule, and he's becoming a better, smarter player while he's reffing.
You're selling me, man.
Absolutely.
Right,
it's the best job I ever had.
Yeah, and you mentioned the countries. What are some of the countries that you've been to? You mentioned 15, I think.
Yeah, so I started off in Germany, and I think I went to Latvia.
You live in Germany now.
I live in Germany after doing 10 years in Denver, where you now live.
Yeah.
So I went back to Kansas for grad school briefly. There are some guys here playing with FCA Team Serve that I reffed their Kansas City championship game. So Dan Britton with
that
FCA.
Team played like 19 games this tournament.
Yeah,
or something
they play.
Insane.
Yeah, so everybody's here playing as much as they can. I did a bunch of scrimmages. So I worked with the Uganda team last year. I was down in Uganda and Kenya at the very end. I was here in Israel for the IPLL. I got to play and ref here. I was in the Kiryat Gat house with 19 other guys.
Wow.
So I started off.
Is that where the Russians are staying this trip?
I don't know. We were way down in Ashdod, so I think everybody's up here in Netanya.
Okay.
But yeah, we were in Ashdod, which is south of Tel Aviv. Now we're north of Tel Aviv. And then I went to Latvia, Estonia, Finland, Sweden, Portugal. Croatia, Amsterdam. So, you can go anywhere you want. And people ask me all the time, how can I go and ref, or how can I go and coach or play international lacrosse?
Yeah, let us know.
And the answer is buy plane tickets.
Buy plane tickets.
Brian Whitmer and I talk about it all the time. Buy plane tickets and you can go.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for someone to pay you, or the invites come all the time.
Right.
But you got to pay your way. So it's like it's a gig. You got a gig. Sometimes it takes money to make money, or it takes money to go where you want to go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
but it's all experience, and these are connections and invitations and friendships that there's no other way to make them. And once you're there, once you're playing and coaching, or playing and reffing and traveling, there's really nothing else I can think of better to do. Yeah, to be quite honest.
And yeah, that's awesome. And part of that, or is part of that, teaching the other refs in whatever country you're in.
Absolutely.
How to be a ref and develop kind of the reffing as well on that side.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm very fortunate that I'm involved in some of the referee training in Europe. So the referee in chief, Barbara Babzelani, she does a lot of referee education. Referee education in every country is getting better, and that's how they get their invitations to submit their referees to come here and work at the World Championships. So it goes all the way down, right? Your World Championship referees are not going to be better. Are not going to get better if their home league structure doesn't promote referee education and training. And that goes all the way down to youth. And if you want to grow your pool of national team players, then you need to grow your youth teams, and you need good refs to do youth games.
Right.
And that is the same as in the U.S. or any country you're talking about. Youth players are the best place to train referees because there's nobody yelling at them, right? So adult players will yell at you all the time. I get yelled at professionally every day. But the youth players are the easiest to deal with. It's the best training. They're the easiest games because winning and losing doesn't matter, and the kids are just out there to have fun. So everybody gets better, and it's really great to build these relationships with people that they're very happy to have you. They're so grateful for your help and your education because they just want to be better at what they're doing. And you would be surprised how dedicated some of the referees here and really around the world, how dedicated they are to getting better. It's no different than a coach or a player. Referees want to be good referees because it really is a fun job. Yeah. I mean, you are in the action when that crease play happens and the ball, the guys are going to the goal and you get a huge pile up in front. Like, we want to be in there and we want to get the call right. It's really a fun job.
I've seen the refs out here having a ton of fun.
Absolutely.
Especially in this tournament, too. I mean, you have refs from all over the country refereeing together.
Yeah.
So, different guys from different places and different reffing backgrounds refereing together here, which has been awesome. What kind of ref are you? Are you like an angry ref? Do you yell back at the coaches? Like,
I'll jaw a little
nice?
bit with you.
Are you
I'm usually
cracking
pretty nice.
jokes? What type of ref are you?
So it's interesting because most of the tournaments I go to, I will also play, but I usually play for the worst team.
Okay.
So, I'll help them out as a player. I played in Berlin right before we came to the World Championships. I was reffing and playing. I think I played for like 3 different teams. But you're reffing everyone.
Right.
So I'm not going to play with you one game and then be a mean ref to you the next game. Or, if you're a player.
Consistent. You want to be consistent.
Yeah, consistently, nice and professional, but also fun and friendly. But I like to, there's a lot of reading that you have to do of the situation. Am I doing a World Championship game, or am I doing like a 12-2 bottom bracket game at a beach tournament? You know what I mean? Like, there's no room for me to be an upset ref at a beach tournament.
Right.
So a lot of my friends are out there. I'm lucky that a lot of people know who I am, so I'm approachable. I know who they are. So it's a very personal, relationship-based atmosphere. And the most important thing, especially when you're talking about international lacrosse, is if I make a call, the guy wants to know what he did and what he should do next time. So there is also a lot of teaching there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and these are professional relationships or even personal relationships we're managing. And there are a couple of times in games or at tournaments where the score really doesn't matter. So I'm probably not supposed to tell you this, but like, I can pull some strings, like if it's I talked to Brian Whitmer about this too, because we were in Budapest back in January, which actually Budapest in January is freezing, but it was a field tournament inside of a dome. So it's a great facility, great tournament. Budapest is a beautiful city in Hungary if you've never been. And, occasionally I can sort of take like a 12-2 game and help the team that's behind a little bit, make it like more like a 10-4. or a 9.5.
You're just getting jobs right now. Everyone wants to hire you now.
Yeah, I'll help you out with a loose ball push, or they're very small things. They're not. I'm not falsifying the score by any means, but
right.
the 12-2 team, they
maybe
need a little
he didn't
help.
step in the crease.
Or I'll help you, or I'll tell you what to do or what not to do, because who wants to play a 12-2?
Right.
A 10-4 or a 9.5 is much more fun for everyone. And the thing to remember too is, like, these are tournaments that are for fun.
Right.
So if fun and improvement is the goal, then as a referee, I can step in there and help.
Yeah, right on. And you have a little one now. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I think she's right over here somewhere.
Over there,
so
yeah.
I got to let you go.
All right.
Really appreciate the time, and good luck. And maybe I'll see you on the road somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping so. Good luck with the Denver Outlaws. Say hello to everybody back in Denver for me.
I will.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we're going to get some highlights to you from the U.S.-England game. So please enjoy. Coming up next, Stan Cochran, former FIL president for 8 years, and tremendous player, and now Team Canada fan because he's not an FIL member, was with me yesterday. So please enjoy this interview. So I'm now joined by Stan Cochran. Stan, you've been the president of the FIL. You did an 8-year stint. You're obviously very still close with the FIL, the development. You're a legendary player. We were just talking about it. You had a role. You put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. But let's talk about first the FIL and you know, the role and growth in growing the game right now. That's Lax All Stars' motto, is grow the game. And how have you seen the game change? How, you know, from your 8 years to now that we're in Israel?
Well, I think, you know, my career goes back to the mid-'70s. We had 4 countries playing.
Right.
And there was nobody at that time, even in their wildest dreams, would have thought we'd have 60 countries playing our great game right now.
Mount Washington Tavern, wasn't that a team?
Mount Washington Tavern, Long Island Lacrosse Club. Yeah. You know, but we've gone from 4 countries, and, you know, I think the rest of the world's starting to find out just how beautiful the game we have.
Yeah.
It's a tough game, it's a rough game, it's got finesse, it's got all of the aspects of every sport. And, you know, I just think through social media, through our development programs, it's no different than when I started, you started. Kids are getting the stick in their hand,
right,
and they're throwing that first pass,
they're
catching
finding
that
that
first
passion
catch,
for it,
and they
right?
go, "I love this."
Yeah,
And they just find the passion.
yeah,
And we found that we had a clinic this morning for over 100 kids from Israel, all different levels, but it was just passion. They were sponges. They wanted to learn. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So for somebody like me to try to give back at that level,
yeah.
it was just a lot of fun. We had a great time today.
That's awesome. So how does this thing grow? Like, how do we keep doing this? What's the mission for the FIL?
Well, our mission and our mission is our mission is to have every country in the world play lacrosse, and to get back in the Olympics again.
Yeah.
So probably over the last 20 years, through people like Tom Hayes, Peter Hobbs, who were presidents before me,
right.
I tried to follow in their role. We just tried to stay focused. We don't do too many things
right.
not good. Do a couple of things very well. Our priorities over the last 8 to 10 years have been development.
Right.
Any spare nickel we've had, we throw into sticks, into clinics, and all of our administration has gone into getting lacrosse back in the Olympics. Our sport deserves to be there.
Yeah.
We were one of the first sports back in the 1900s. We've got a great sport. The world deserves to see it. Our players
Absolutely.
deserve to see it, and we're going to get back there. We'll get in.
And I was lucky. I got to meet Sue, the new president of the FIL that you passed the torch to, and we talked a little bit at halftime for everyone here at Wingate Field to kind of learn about that. But people, I don't know, people have been talking about it and stuff, but it's out there. I mean, you guys have a real mission and a very aggressive plan to get into the Olympics.
Well, it started 15 years ago. So
yeah.
It's not one of those things that you just do overnight.
Right.
Yeah, 15 years ago, we had our first strategic planning meeting. We wanted to get back to the Olympics. We said, what do you have to do in the Olympics? Honestly, we all sat around the table, and nobody knew.
Yeah.
We said, well, we got to find out.
Yeah.
So we found out.
Yeah.
And then we started, there's basically
making your way through.
Basically 7 things we had to do.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to go into. It'd be too much detail here.
Right.
But we've knocked off 5 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're at the stage our application's in to the IOC. It's been in for the last year and a half. They've gone through some changes procedurally under Thomas Bach, the new IOC president. So that's kind of delayed things a bit. But we're more than confident that, over the next months, certainly over the next year, that we'll get IOC recognition.
Right.
And that's the second last step. You have to be an IOC member before you can apply to actually be a sport in the Olympics. Excuse me. And once we get recognition, then we'll put our full plan in action that was already developed.
Right.
We know what we got to do, to become an actual sport in the Summer Olympics.
That's amazing, and part of that is the format, correct? The format of how the game will look. And as a player, you know our sport so well, and we're here right now, Australia, USA, the international rules. Can you share with us kind of where you think that format will be in 2018?
Well, I think we're never going to lose our game,
right?
Whether it's the indoor game.
And this
game,
tournament will continue.
We're always going to have always going to have the world indoors. We're always going to have this.
Right.
So we're not going to lose that.
Right.
I think the reality is that as we move forward, there's limitations to how many players, participants could go in the Olympics.
Right.
So we got to become, I think, a faster game, smaller units, more marketable, more saleable. And I guess the best echo would be rugby.
Right.
Rugby tried to get in for years, and
rugby
rugby sevens. Yeah. So, they still run all their traditional rugby programs.
Right.
And it would be and who knows? It could be indoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rugby sevens format is interesting. It's fun. It's it's 30-minute games and they're flying through, and you got all the teams.
We can't get stuck on culture and tradition.
Right.
We have to evolve.
Yes.
We have to do what's not best for the past. We got to do what's best for the future and best for our game. And the Olympics would be a great thing for our game.
Right.
It'll expose our game and get more kids playing, get more resources for most countries to start developing. So it'd be a good thing. and we're not going to lose all the good stuff we have here.
Right.
So it's the best of both worlds to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys can't see if you're in the beer garden or you're watching online or wherever, you can't see, but over here we have our VIP section, and there's a lot of board members from the FIL, and they're in their FIL polos hanging out. You can't miss them, but you're finally in a Canadian lacrosse tee and a Canadian lacrosse hat. We were speaking off air. It was weird to put that stuff on at first this morning, and this is kind of the first time you've been able to be a participant.
It might seem funny, but I put the T-shirt on today.
Yeah.
And I've gotten over 20 years of being neutral.
Right.
Either as vice president before I was president, and
right.
board member before that. And I asked witnesses, like, you think it's okay if I wear this today?
Yeah.
She said, well, you're not the president anymore. You're not on the board. Wear what you want.
Yeah.
So, and I got my son playing.
Right,
Mark,
of course you're cheering because Mark's playing, yeah.
But he's played other events, and I've been the president. I couldn't cheer. So it was really, honestly, special for me.
Right.
Actually, wear my country's colors today and cheer.
That's awesome.
Still an international passionate guy.
Right.
I still want to do everything, but it was fun to be able to.
That's cool. That's what these, I think games have brought into me. It's been a refresher, moments like that, where you can, just experience the game in a different light. And that's certainly happened to me. And speaking of your son, right now, Canada-Australia going on right now, but one of your FIL board members shared a very cool, I can't take credit for this, very cool fact about if Canada advances to the U.S.-Canada game, gold medal game. If the U.S. wins, it'll be the first combination that a father and son have won that between Doug and Tom Schreiber.
Right.
And it'd be the first time, if Canada wins, it'd be the first time that a father-son combination would win the gold medal between your son and yourself. How awesome is that?
Well, honestly, that's very awesome. And I know you're talking about Bobby DeMarco. He just comes up with all these crazy facts. Well, obviously, I'm going for a Canadian win.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But I know Marky played with Tommy Schreiber last year.
Right.
He's got, obviously ultimate respect for him. So ever it goes, it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know for me, I've been lucky enough with the years to have some success. Probably the most admired record I have is that me and Mark hold the all-time NCAA father-son scoring record.
That is
for
awesome.
goals.
That is
so
awesome.
That's the one I'm most proud about at this point.
Yeah.
If he can follow through today, tomorrow, or Saturday with a win, obviously I'm proud either way, so it don't matter.
Yeah. Well, congrats on everything, and really appreciate you taking the time. It's really cool what the FIL is doing, and continuing to grow our game, and we'll be rooting for you in the gold medal game. So,
well,
awesome.
Thank you very much. And just before I go, I tell you, one of the reasons we're growing is because of the media coverage you're giving.
Okay.
So, thank you guys for all the stuff you're doing internationally. Media to promote our game.
Absolutely.
Without you, I know ESPN's doing some good stuff, TSN at home, and we certainly appreciate all the efforts you guys are putting
All Stars
together.
is going all over the world. We're going to keep traveling and keep going.
But we need that.
So,
we need that. So we certainly appreciate it, and I know our Phil board appreciates it. So thank you.
Awesome, Stan. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Matt Anderson with Lacrosse All-Stars. We're here with some of the members of the Mexican national team. We're here with Santiago, Juan, Alejandro, and Tim. Guys, thanks for joining us. It's been a good tournament for you guys so far. Let's talk about one of your games against China. You guys said that was a pretty memorable game for you. Could you talk about what that game was like, how that went?
Yeah, it was. It was a very hard-fought game. We started off strong, and then towards the second and third quarter, we kind of let go a little bit, and China took the lead. And during halftime, our coach gave us a great speech, and told us that we're in this together. We're a team and we're a family. We're here for our families, and it turned the tides for us big time with China. And we ended up coming back, and we won. I think it was 14-13 in the very end of the game, and China's a very good team. They were very physical, they were very strong, and, we came out, and I believe because we stuck together as a family, we were able to come out and, get through the game together, as one.
Yeah, that's great. And so you guys mentioned that also you are, some of the founding members of the Mexican national team. Talk about the growth of the program. and what that has been like to grow the program in Mexico.
Bueno, el programa de Lacrosse lo inició hace 9 años. Una persona que ahorita no pudo estar con nosotros en este torneo, su nombre es José Luis Espinosa Núñez. Él, junto con otro compatriota nuestro que vive en los Estados Unidos, llamado Osvaldo Díaz, entre ellos fundaron el primer equipo de Lacrosse en México. Hicieron unos tryouts 6 meses después y bueno, México tuvo su primer participación en un mundial en Manchester en 2010. Después se empezó una liga en México, la cual empezó con 6 equipos, 3 equipos, después se aumentó a 6 y el deporte, sí, ahorita son 8, tenemos 4 clubes, hay liga de box lacrosse, entonces el deporte sigue creciendo en el país. Entonces.
Yeah, so basically they helped start Mexico Lacrosse about 9 years ago. A guy named Luis Espinosa and Osvaldo Diaz, they helped form it, 9 years ago. At the time, they formed it and then had tryouts 6 months later to get ready for the 2010 Manchester games. They started with 3 club teams after that, and they're up to 8 teams now. They even run box in the winter time. So it's they're hitting the tracks hard, full swing, and yeah, they're just happy to be a part of it. Happy, something special to them.
That's awesome. So what does it mean to you guys to be able to build something like that and then to be able to represent your country here at these World Games?
Bueno, pues siempre representar a tu país en cualquier competencia como deportista creo que es el mayor logro que puedes tener, y bueno, vinimos a hacerlo de la mejor forma, a representar a nuestro país y bueno, como mexicanos, y pues bueno, afortunadamente tuvimos algunas victorias, desafortunadamente también tuvimos algunas derrotas, pero pues digo, es parte del aprendizaje que estamos teniendo en México Lacrosse, y digo, nos vamos a llevar esto al programa en México para seguir haciendo crecer a las universidades y a los equipos que tenemos de clubes de Liga Master.
Yeah, getting to represent Mexico in any sport is an absolute honor, and that's exactly how these guys feel. Just feel honored to be a part of it. They're hoping to take everything that we've learned, all the experiences, take them right back and keep building on that, so that 4 years from now we can continue the success and the growth of the game as well.
What do you guys see the future of Mexico Lacrosse as? What are some of your goals for growing the sport in Mexico?
Pues son muchos aspectos. Primero, queremos expandir el deporte hacia los niños. Queremos tener una base de jóvenes que puedan representar a nuestro país. Tomamos la decisión de venir a jugar este mundial con un 80% de jugadores de México. No es que despreciemos el talento que hay de nuestros jugadores que hay en América, como Juan, como Tim. De hecho, son parte de nuestra familia, son nuestros hermanos, pero queríamos demostrarle al mundo que en México se puede desarrollar bien el deporte, y que como mexicanos que somos podemos hacer cosas muy buenas. ¿Cuál es nuestro deseo, nuestra meta a futuro? Desarrollar el deporte en cuanto a los jóvenes, crear más torneos, que tenemos la idea de realizar torneos internacionales donde puedan venir a jugar más equipos de Estados Unidos o de cualquier parte del mundo. Tenemos lugares muy padres, queremos darlos a conocer, y por qué no en algún momento México que organice la Copa del Mundo de Lacrosse.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different aspects that we want to approach into growing the game. First off is the youth, getting youth guys involved, getting sticks in little kids' hands. That's going to build the future later on. Right now it was about 80% of our team was from Mexico. Not to take anything away from any of the guys in the U.S., but that's how we want to keep it, and possibly, just be Mexico moving forward. Just show that guys that are just based in Mexico can play at this level too. As far as the future goes, we want to be able to get more tournaments going in Mexico. maybe some couple men's opens. You know, I think people would be definitely open to a tournament in Cancun, maybe Los Cabos, and maybe potentially down the line one day having the games in Mexico City. That's a realistic goal for us, and you know, we want to set our eyes towards that one day.
Yeah, that's great. I think that'd be a great thing for lacrosse to have be able to host more events in Mexico for sure. So to kind of close out, let's talk about what each of your favorite moments from the World Games have been.
Favorito, bueno, demasiado. Primero es los goles de team. Segundo, yo como capitán lo tomaría que nuestro grupo fue uno de los más difíciles, sin duda, jugar contra Latvia, contra Grecia, que estaba plagado de jugadores de D1, de D2, y dejarlos sorprendidos, ellos mismos al final del partido nos dijeron como, hey, esto está muy padre, que ustedes jueguen como mexicanos, y estuvimos a nada de vencerlos. Creo que eso es otro momento. Otro momento es que hemos demostrado que somos una familia. Cuando alguien no está en un buen momento, cuando alguien está pasando por algo mal en el juego, el equipo te abraza, te cobija y bueno, juntos sales adelante. Hemos recuperado muchos partidos así, casi todos nuestros partidos empezamos abajo en el marcador y repuntamos. Y eso creo que han sido los mejores momentos de esto. Bueno, y hace poco vivimos uno despidiendo a nuestro coach. Se va a los Estados Unidos y fue un momento igual muy triste, pero padre.
Yeah, so first off, some of Tim's goals were some of our favorite memories. Other memories were just, you know, the tough play that we had in pool play. We got placed against Latvia and Greece, and, you know, we gave them all we got, and at the end of the day, they had a lot of respect for us. I mean, in that group, I think the goal differential was 22, 20, and 18. So, you know, it was a very tight group. And then just coming together as a team and continuing to grow throughout the entire process, you know. Anytime a guy would get down, other guys were there to pick each other up, and we were just able to grow as a family. So, and another special moment was just saying goodbye to our coach. He's moving back to the U.S. Where he teaches English. So, you know, it was a sad moment, but at the same time, we're very proud and happy for him. So, and then
yeah, I can agree with Fonzie. You know, one of my favorites was playing against Latvia. You know, I mean, I had some pretty fun goals and exciting goals, but, you know, probably my favorite was playing against Latvia. You know, those guys came out and we were the underdogs, and they expected to, you know, just run through us and you know, an easy game, and we gave them the exact opposite. You know, the way that you can just look at all of our players' eyes, you know, we had a goal and we wanted something to prove. And, you know, even though we lost, you know, we showed the tournament, and everyone saw in the tournament that, you know, we were a force to be reckoned with. And, you know, it wasn't because we had U.S. guys. You know, our team, you know, like, you know, Fonzie said, our team is, you know, 80% from Mexico City. And those guys came out and proved something here this year. You know, they proved that, you know, lacrosse is a huge sport. And it's getting a huge sport in Mexico City, you know, and that's what was probably my favorite thing, was to hear the announcers talking about our team throughout the whole tournament. To have our team have, you know, instant replays and attention by some of the superstars that are here, you know, getting messages from some of the USA guys and Canada guys saying, you know, how well we're playing. That's huge, and I think that's probably my favorite part of this whole tournament.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Santiago?
Sí, bueno, digo, estar aquí ya es algo grande. Nos llevamos muchos momentos buenos. Como dice Tim, el partido contra Latvia fue un partido muy duro, que estuvimos encima. Desafortunadamente no lo pudimos ganar por cuestiones del juego. Pero digo, estar aquí representando a México es impresionante, ¿no? El torneo y todo ha sido una experiencia maravillosa para nosotros.
Yeah, just getting to compete against again Latvia and Greece, and getting recognition from all those other guys was really special. And then being able to string together 4 wins in a row just really proved how much we were working the entire time to continue to stay forward, stay positive, even after losing our first couple games. So,
Juan, do you have a favorite moment you want to share?
My favorite moment was just being able to overcome our game against China. We had a pretty big lead at the beginning, about 5-1. We let them catch up. It was tied about 8-8 around, third quarter. They were down 14-12. They were up 14-12 with 6 minutes left. Our face-off guy, who's an absolute animal on the field, he got us 2 big goals to tie it up, and then one of our big attackmen sent us ahead, 15-14. It was just a really special moment for us to come together as a team. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being willing to be interviewed. And, best of luck growing the game in Mexico.
All right. Thank you.
For Lax All-Stars, I'm Matt Anderson.